Alright, this is Way the People News. Alrighty, another at it. This time we're actually going to see him in his own court case now. And see here. So this is going to probably be a 4 or 5 part series due to how long the videos are. Alright, it's educational. Anything I say or do is not legal advice. Do your own research. Okay? Not responsible for you. You are responsible for yourself. And by the way, quit going by hearsay. Just saying. Right? Anything attorney tells you is hearsay. Do you read the statutes, read the codes, read the rules and regulations, read the Constitution? All right? Come to find out, there are a bunch of idiots out there. All right. Couple more things, right? Men and women have natural rights that's been provided from the great all beyond, okay? And allegedly. Number two, the people have political powers, okay? We to instruct our servants what to do, okay? And which, by the way, is the 10th and 9th Amendment, right? And citizen with the lower C is 14th Amendment subject to the federal laws. All right, when they say federal laws, they're saying statute, codes, rules, and regulations. Okay, that's administrative. Okay, that's not actually law. That being said, that's Silver Woman law. Even though it's law in another country, it's not supposed to be law here. All right, we're supposed to have common law. Goes back into what? The 6th Amendment tells you it's common law. All right, even though it's not 100% all through our Constitution, we came from England. They used common law at the time. All right, and what we are doing now is reverting back into England using statute, codes, rules, and regulations mixed in with the common law, which broadens their power because we, the people, don't use our political power to instruct them. Learn how to do a petition of our regress and grievance. Quit going out there on the streets. Right? Put it on paper. If it's not on paper, then it does not have any standing. All right? You take it to the legislature and you demand them to actually start impeaching these judges. Okay? Every bar in every state is a private business. Okay? So how did this private business have control of our judicial system? Just saying. Because it was in the 1840s when the bar members showed up. What did we have before then? Think about it, people. My storage is kind of low, so it may shut off just all abrupt. So apologize for that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Council. Be there. Okay, I think we're ready to start. Thank you, everyone. Let's go on the record. Or actually, Mr. Roy, did you have a chance to touch base with Ms. Carsonson? Did you need additional time to talk to her? I just want, no, okay. Okay, let's go on the record.
Oh, by the way, I just want to point out the judge over here is against him. These officers are against him. And there's going to be an attorney over here against him. And if he actually stood for him, he would bow down to the mighty judge, king or queen, right? And do as what she wishes, so she won't file a bar grievance against him and have retaliation brought upon him. Because I've actually had attorneys tell me that, okay? And meanwhile, he's sitting there all by his little lonesome. So for anybody out there, anybody that goes pro se, for whatever means they use, you got to give it to them. because they got to do their own research, and they are willing to put their lives on the line for it, literally.
All right, we're on the record. City, if you want to start us off, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is the city versus Mr. Benshu. There are several cases on the calendar this afternoon. I am just going to go through and name each of them. It is SMC cause number 656-748, 656-749, 669-329, 671-384, 675-405, 676-175, 676-207, 676-216, 676-463, and 676-492. And this is Morgan Karstensen appearing on behalf of the city.
All right, and thank you. Mr. Roy? Okay, so I guess let me just get some clarification. So Mr. Binshif, I know that you want to represent yourself, and I guess I'm not clear on whether that was actually approved by the court, so.
Well, my understanding is that under Washington Constitution, Article 1, Section 22, I have a right to appear, I have a right to call witnesses. It's inferred in that I have a right to represent myself, as well as the Sixth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. My right to counsel clearly includes my right to represent myself, per se.
Okay, so I'm not denying that you absolutely have the right to represent yourself, but I think what I'd like to do is just clarify for the record where we are, so there's no misunderstanding between you, current defense counsel, and the city as to who is doing what. So Mr. Benshu, why don't you do this first? So is it your wish to represent yourself on these 10 pretrial cases?
Yes.
Okay.
And for the record, I'm here by special appearance. I objected to both personal jurisdiction and subject matter jurisdiction. So everything that's being said today is proceeding under that presumption, which we can address in a minute. But yeah, I have been trying to represent myself and dismiss these malicious prosecutions for the last year and a half. And unfortunately, your associate judges prevented me from appearing to dismiss the cases. And unfortunately, the DPD repeatedly, against my express objections, both in writing and by voicemail message, kept filing notices of appearance, putting DPD attorneys as my counsel. So, that's not in any way my fault. That's
okay. So thank you. Okay.
So to be clear, on some of you guys are not clear about all this, right? So he's been on Telegram for the past 5 years, fighting custody battle with a woman that he got knocked up, and he actually was raising the offspring. And sometime in the past few years, a couple of years, she ended up coming in and just bluntly take the offspring from him. And don't know exactly how that conspired right away, but he's basically what he says, kidnapping. And he's got all these judges and attorneys in a lawsuit. Now this one right here, I don't think is in a lawsuit, or she would have to recuse herself, and this one's not in a lawsuit. So Seattle is actually doing a retaliation, and these officers helped conspire the SWAT team due to the alleged lie. Okay, I'm a hearsay, but I know of his case of fighting this for a few years, and he's never married to her, and yet on the news says he was married. Also, shot her in the leg. Well, they're saying that he is harassing her. Then why is she at his house? Okay, And so far, I have not seen any evidence he even had guns. It don't mean he don't. But that being said, why are you going into a house of a harassment? And by the way, he was trying to get in touch with her to serve her and trying to get some type of meetings of minds with her for the offspring's benefit.
So, Mr. Roy, I guess your understanding right now is that are you still assigned to some of Mr. Bench's cases?
I'm going to give Mr. Roy, who's very polite, permission to answer those questions, even though he's not considered my counsel as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, I just,
So, Your Honor, now that all the parties are in the room,
yes,
procedurally, I was first appointed to 675-405. Mr. Benshu was granted his pro se motion on that case. And sometime afterwards, I believe I was reappointed to all 9 other cases.
mhm,
So at the moment, my notice of appearance is filed on all 9 cases.
okay,
However, as I've said previously, I do not have Mr. Benshu's consent to speak on his behalf for those cases.
okay. Now, do we know, so on the matter of, so Mr. Bench, I do want, if you want to represent yourself, I'm not trying to stop you. What I'm trying to do is just make sure that we are clear about what's happening. So, Mr. Roy, on 675, it was 675-405, where you said he was granted the right to represent himself. Is that
That was the original case that I was first
okay?
assigned to.
So what I'm looking for is to see if the court had gone through a waiver of right to counsel, and it's on. Let's see that it's filed here. Let me just.
So, Your Honor, I do have one objection to what appears to be a formulaic statement there.
Mm-hmm.
By representing myself,
Mhm.
I am not waiving my right to counsel. I still have a right to counsel.
Mhm.
I am foregoing my right to have the Department of Public Defense represent me, but
Okay.
I'm currently attempting to speak with and obtain a defense attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently, and for the last month have been, denied the ability to even speak with a defense attorney of my choosing without having it recorded. So I'm pro se, but I'm not giving up my right to counsel.
Okay. So all right. So let me ask you this: was there ever a time when a court went through if you're representing yourself, the procedure would be to go through a waiver of right to counsel to make sure that you understood all of the ramifications of representing yourself.